everybody, and welcome back to the Positively Craig YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody who's joined into my last video. Lots of funny comments. Hope you actually see my video. It's just up there. If you haven't seen it, make sure you do go and see it. Absolutely hilarious video where we have a little bit of laugh during our lockdown time. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. If you are new to my channel, make sure you like and subscribe, as there's lots of videos to come and there's lots more fun to be had. So yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so yeah, this video is about returning to work. How do we feel about going back to work, returning to work? How is it that we're dealing with it? Are we okay with it? Are we dealing with it well? Is the stress of it coming up weighing on our minds? Obviously we have a week left now. It is now Monday. We've got a week left till all shops reopen again, due to obviously with social distancing and obviously the guidelines in touch as well. But how do we feel about this? Do you think we're all going to rush out into the high street? Do you think we're all going to get back out there, crowd the shopping malls and the local high streets and you know, all think as if nothing's gone wrong? And I think that's probably one of the biggest concerns that we've got at the moment, is that what happens when all these shops open? If we all start getting together, do we risk a second outbreak? Do we risk our own health, our own lives, our families' lives? And it's something that we do have to understand, something that we really have to think about, and how it is going to make a burden on us as a population and as the world, because it's not easy. It's not going to be easy. We do really need to work hard at this, and remember that we're not over this. The death tolls have been coming down. It has been great, but we're definitely not there yet. There is so much more we need to be doing, so much more that we need to stay in touch with, and obviously move forward, hopefully, in the future. So how am I feeling? Let's have a little look at, for instance, how I'm feeling. Now, I'm a little bit anxious about going back to work. Obviously, I'm sure if you're like me, if you've been off work, you're one of two ways. You're either gone stir crazy because you've been stuck in the house, you've been bored stiff, you've just been like, oh, I can't wait to get back to work. I'll never complain about going back to work again. This is so boring. Or you'll be there, oh, this has been great, a nice little break I needed. A nice little sort of time off, so I could sort of like recover and sort of regain myself and maybe catch up with who I am again. Now myself, I've had a mixture of that. You know, at first I was like, great, you know, time off work. Oh, who doesn't love a bit of time off work? Which is nice. Obviously the reasons behind we're all off work is very tragic. It's very sad and very devastating to obviously the world, as well as just ourselves and our loved ones. But also, you know, we've got to think about the economy as well. We've got to think about how this is affecting Britain, how it's affecting our country, how it's affecting jobs. Now, one of the things that I know that the government's obviously been putting a lot of pressure on is trying to get the economy up and growing again, starting off and obviously keeping businesses rolling. Now, there is a lot of people who unfortunately have been victim to this. Lost their jobs, had lots of incidences where they've been made redundant, or obviously hours cut or whatever, and obviously I'm sure that's going to have a big effect on families and on people's way of living. It's not going to be easy, and I know you guys all out there are going to be struggling a bit, but you know, it's that sort of, which way do we go on that? Which is the most sort of acceptable thing to do? And do you think it's something that we might be able to sort of cope with if we do go back? You know, I think it is sort of a test it and see how we go, really. So yeah, the decisions that they've had to make in Parliament. Now, this is tough. I look at this from a point of view of what, for instance, has Boris Johnson got to deal with. Now, obviously every day we get told there's a death toll, you know, how many people have contracted coronavirus, how many people unfortunately have passed from coronavirus, and that is basically, it is going down. We are on a downward trend, but imagine being the Prime Minister and you're getting pressure from obviously other government parties and various other political things, and also you want to restart the country. Now, we all want everything to go back to normal. We want coronavirus to disappear. We want us all to be healthy and well again, and everything go back to normal. But at what stage is it acceptable for us to sort of go back to work, start mixing together sociably, you know, to sort of try and get the economy going again? And it must be a very hard decision for him to make. You know, at what point does he decide to open the shops? And if that, for instance, a second spike occurred, because obviously everyone's out and about again, he'd be to blame. You know, the pressure that he must be under must be quite intense. I know some people like Boris Johnson, some people aren't a big fan of Boris Johnson, but you've got to understand, imagine having that decision. Imagine being in that position where you've got to make that decision. Do I risk human lives, people's lives, on the sake of the economy, or do we risk the economy and businesses collapsing to keep people safe? What a decision that must be. What a hard decision he must have. It must be tough. It must be real tough. I can only imagine what that would be like, having to make that decision. It's easier to say, oh no, let's stay at home until it's completely gone. But the economy, our businesses, our jobs, our livelihoods, if you're self-employed, you have your own shops. There's so many different elements to this that they have to consider, things they have to look into and look past. When is it acceptable? It's probably never acceptable to go back to work and risk your life. But there has to be a point where we have to start up again. We have to get out there, start the economy up, and try and start the world moving again. It's a scary and very, very uncertain time to be doing this. We don't know what the outcome's going to be. We don't know whether or not this is going to lead to a second outbreak, or if we all are vigilant and we keep the way we've been going and keeping safe, then, you know, that's where I think, you know, only time will tell on that one. And this is why I think I want to put this video out, to sort of really just to discuss with you guys. Obviously it's me doing a lot of talking, but I think it's something that it's on our minds. The pressure of going back to work, you know, the social distancing, if you're on any of the sort of the critical lists, you know, when's it safe for you to go out? What if you're on the vulnerable list? You know, at what point is that going to be okay because you're more susceptible? Food for thought, something we need to think about. Well, thank you very much for listening to me. Obviously been a bit more of a serious video from the last one, but I think it's an important point to come across to discuss openly with you guys about what we've got coming up on the 15th, when all the shops open again and potentially we all go back to our work, and you know how that's going to impact us, impact our families, and hopefully not impact the coronavirus spread too much. Yeah, so thank you once again for tuning in. Again, I've really enjoyed doing this video for you. I love doing these videos for you. You know, thank you very much to my new subscribers who've jumped on there. It's really good to see you guys on there, especially some new comments that I've seen on there. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I've been Positive Craig, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.